Hello, Angel Weirdos. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Natalie Megan. This is Weirdo Book Club. Today I have a travel, chatty Cathy, but chatty Natty vlog for you where I'm going to tell you all about my travels in October. So first up, we have the trip that I took to New York City in order to attend the Bindery Con, celebrating the fall releases of some of the imprints and authors working with Bindery. I'm on Bindery, if you didn't know. It's like a bookish Patreon kind of thing. It has a new app. It is super convenient to keep up with all of your favorite influencers making content such as this. Operates as kind of like a newsletter / blog, and it delivers things right to your email. You can sign up for a paid option if you want to. You don't have to. Every single follow involves you in my community and shows support of the work that I'm doing here, so it means a lot. I am not an imprint, but you know, in the future, if enough interest is generated, maybe I will be. But for now, I'm just a girl on the internet, standing in front of a person on the internet, asking you to subscribe, like the video, and then go over to my Bindery and sign up. You'll get Discord access, and then we can hang out. But anyway, that's how I got the invite. I'm on the list. So I was considering it, but then after Rachel went to the spring release for Bindery Con in New York City, she was like, you have to come to this one with me because I have more fun when you're around. And I agree. I also have more fun when she's around, but we're two different people in the way that she wants to just make the things happen. And I am just like, well, if I can't do it with you, I'm not going to do it at all. And you'll see a little bit of that in my recap of some of the events that happened while we were in New York. But anyway, we got the plans together. We worked on it together. I found an Airbnb in Brooklyn for us. Actually, I found a really great one before we landed on the one that we ended up staying in that was like literally within walking distance of the venue. And it was also a little cheaper, but somebody didn't act fast enough and it was gone. To pay more and work harder to get to the thing. But we're not going to talk about that. We're not going to talk about how I have a whole itinerary of things that I needed us to do together and a loose little plan that's not only, you know, really well thought out and structured, but is cute to look upon with your eyes. And then the Airbnb fell through. We had to find a plan B. I'm not going to talk about that. I'm just going to let you watch the videos that I made before we set off and like packing and showing you what I packed and talking to you a little bit about the little things that I decided to bring along with me and my anxieties and all that stuff. So enjoy those clips. Here they are.
Hi, thought I'd show you some of the stuff that I'm packing for my New York trip. I've kind of gone, some would say overboard. I would say on board. Just right on track. Chargers. This little thing is really cool. I found it on Amazon. Shocking, I know. I'm sorry. It converts different cords. It's got all these little conversion thingies just in case. And then I have chargers and a charge bank, a little lint roller, charger for the remote on my tripod that I'm using. Okay, now we're gonna get into the good stuff. Now I already packed it, so is this stupid for me to do now? Yeah, sure, but it's too late.
I'm doing a voiceover, so here's all the stuff in the bag that I'm going to put them in. So this is a first aid kit, band-aids, alcohol pads, gauze, fingernail clippers, you know, stuff like that. This is blister cushions. These things were life-saving for me. You must bring them with you. Shampoo, conditioner. These are individually wrapped little makeup remover Q-tip thingies. This is some of the stuff that I showed you before, the masks and the chargers and the nail polish and the lint roller. I'm trying to get everything just to fit. And this is like a thigh rescue thing for when your thighs like to rub together. Portable toothbrush makes sense. And then 2 different kinds of toothpaste because I don't know what Rachel prefers and if she would bring her own. Deodorant, just a little mini guy because you can't be stinking. Flossers, gotta have those. I also ordered some teeth wipes, but they didn't get here in time. This is a little sick stick, I call it. If you get nauseous, you smell it and it makes you feel better. A Tide stick for food spillage emergencies, which I tend to have a lot of. And we have deodorant wipes, makeup remover wipes, and disinfectant Clorox wipes. All the wipes, okay? You can't have too many wipes. Apparently I can because, again, the teeth wipes did not get here in time. Visine, just because you never freaking know. Gold Bond. Lotion, I have to have lotion because if I start to be able to feel the cells in my hand, I will die. Same with this body oil that I use. I can't do it, especially being perimenopausal. Facial mist with witch hazel, just for like a spritz cleanup feeling. And then the Downy wrinkle release because, you know, your clothes tend to get pretty wrinkly when they're in a suitcase. Mouthwash, so you're not just breathing dragon breath on anybody. Some hand sanitizer. I've got one for me and one for Rachel. Mine is obviously the pink one. Then I have my little pill case and we have Oh, Pepto, Motrin, Tylenol, Tums, all kinds of stuff in there. Then I have some panty liners just because you never know. And then some more wipes, individual booty wipes for when you have to go to the bathroom in public and you might not feel so fresh afterward. And then I have these little cooling packs. I got the dumplings for Rachel and the eggs for me. You put them in the fridge and you put them on your eyes when you have a migraine at the end of the day. Vital for people like me. Here's all of my makeup, skincare, hair ties, things like that. And they all fit neatly into this little zip-up pouch that my brother-in-law got me for Christmas one year. He really just does always give me the best gifts.
It's pretty extreme. But, yeah. And then I also have an extra mask. And some lip gloss, some chapstick, some perfume. All compliant with flying. So hopefully I won't get in trouble. Who knows? With the government shut down, they might not even be looking at anything. It's just like, go. I'm not nervous yet, but I probably will be tomorrow as my flight takes off at like 6. So I have to be there at 4. I'm not a morning person. I don't know what I was thinking. No, I know what I was thinking. I want to maximize my time in a city I hardly ever get to go to. So I'm finishing up laundry. I'm sure you hear it. I'm going to plan outfits, pack, and try not to freak out. But I'm going to try to vlog the whole time too, so that I can share it with you. And you can live vicariously through me. I like doing that with people when they go fun places. Oh, I also got these things for me and Rachel. I got eggs for me and dumplings for her. They're just little cool packs. And they were really cheap. So if I accidentally leave them in the freezer at the Airbnb, I won't be devastated. But it's for when we get back from things. If we have migraines, they'll be in the freezer and we can just pop them on our face. She picked dumplings, which is perfect because I wanted the eggs anyway. So yeah, here it is. Cool, huh? And then I'll zip it all up and all my liquids will be in one bag. That way, if and when they're like, where did you look for some stuff? I'll be like, all right. And then hopefully they won't make a mess of things. I hate it when they do that. So yeah, wish me luck. See you in NYC.
All right, so we're all packed and we're all ready. And the way that I had planned this was we were both supposed to land at LaGuardia, her from Florida, me from Tennessee, land in LaGuardia around 10 a.m. And that way we could work together to navigate the subway or the bus or whatever the hell we had to do. Split an Uber. We had to get from LaGuardia to Brooklyn, okay? And so I wanted us to be together on that because the thought of her having to do it alone made me have indigestion, and I could do it alone. I just don't want to. Like, why would I? So that was the plan. We got up early. I got up at 3 a.m. and started getting my car ready, headed out to the airport, got there, boarded my plane, half alive because I am not a morning person. And then, I'm going to let past me tell you more and the rest and show you our Airbnb and where we were staying and all that other stuff. So I will see you back at Rachel still hadn't landed, so I didn't know what to do. So I walked and got coffee at a place and then got my nails done, and she still isn't here.
Oh my gosh. Hi, I have officially made it into our Airbnb, and I'm going to tell you my flight. You'll notice Rachel's not here. I'll get there. But I'm going to tell you about my journey to this point, and then I'm going to tell you why Rachel isn't here. So I woke up at 3 in the morning and drove an hour to the airport and got through security. I made myself a coffee before I left because I knew I didn't want to stand in line at the coffee place at the airport, which was a smart move because the line at the coffee place was longer than the security line, which I think is wild. But anyway, I get there, I check my stuff in. For some reason, even though my bag would fit in an overhead compartment, they made me check it and stow it under the plane, and they brought it out when the plane landed. But whatever, it's not a big deal. I have my bag. I get on the plane. I realize I'm palpitating and skipping beats because I don't do well with things like this. I don't like air travel. Something about my need for control. You know, you can do with that what you will. And so I get on and I'm like, you know what? There's no reason that this shouldn't be a sensory deprivation tank where only I exist in. So I get on the plane.
Thankfully, nobody was sitting next to me. So I had the whole row to myself, and I had a neck pillow, so I didn't have to hold my head up. I had my headphones listening to a book. It was only okay. It was The Deep by Alma Katsu, 3 stars, I guess. I had the noise canceling on, and then I had a mask that when we took off, I moved my glasses up and moved the mask up. So I was covered. I was completely blocked out. So I could pretend I was anywhere else. All the while, I'm just trying to lock in, as the kids would say, so that I can just get through it, right? And it's like a 2-ish hour flight. Not a big deal, right? They bring the drink cart around. It's fine. I'm like, do you have Diet Coke? She's like, yeah. I'm like, great. She's like, with ice? I'm like, of course. She gives me a Diet Coke. I then get a coffee because I just... why not make my heart rate even higher, right? It's just fun. So we near where we're headed, and then we hear about some inclement weather that New York might be experiencing. And then as we approach the airport, they're like, this is your captain speaking. We are not clear to land, and you might be wondering why we're just circling the city. That's because they only have one runway open. What do you mean? LaGuardia? One runway? For weather? I don't know. It made me sweat. So I'm sitting there sweating. We're circling in the air like birds of prey over a meal. And I'm like, please don't let me be the meal. And so I'm just trying again just to lock in and be like, I'm not here. I am at home. I'm in bed. I'm in the shower. I'm under a body of water of some kind that I have voluntarily submerged myself in just to feel something, you know? And sensory shutdown. And then boom, we land. And I thought that it was like an hour we were just circling. And I swear to God, like I grew up around airplanes, not commercial airlines or anything like that, but like I know a little bit about airplanes. And I feel like most people know this. This is like a base knowledge thing, is like there's only so many gallons that the plane can hold. And so we're circling, and I'm like, is this a circle or a spiral? Like, I don't know, because at some point we're gonna have to land, even if there's no, I'm getting riled up. So anyway, and I'm in my pajamas. I'm in my bananas and pajamas, and they're not ideal for gallivanting from place to place. They're ideal for sleeping and looking cute, doing videos. You know, you've seen me do them. But the pants don't fit me well. They are too long. They are too wide, and I started to be able to feel the clothes. You know what I mean? Like they're on me, they're touching me, and they have been this whole time, except I just became aware of it, and now it's a problem. So we land finally after God knows how many gallons were expelled into the air. And then I go get my bag, and all my texts start coming in because, you know, I didn't have Wi-Fi. No matter how many airplanes tell me Wi-Fi on board, there never is. It never works for me. So I'm always cut off from my people. So I land 90 texts. I'm like, that can't be good. It's not because Rachel's flight has not even left. They boarded. They made her check her bag. Not the cool way that they let me check mine, just under the plane, and then they bring it out to the gate when I'm done. No, they made her check it, like for real. And so she gets on the plane, and then something's wrong with the plane. I don't think I would get on another plane if that happened to me. Something about the hose. A hose, not a hose. You know what I mean? And so they got off the plane, and then they rerouted her. It's supposed to be a direct flight from Florida to New York, right? Right? And she's been up since the same time I was up. Well, they lost her bag, and then they reroute her to Nashville, which is not where we're supposed to be, until Friday. So, a little ahead of schedule there. Is she behind schedule for this event, or is she so ahead of schedule for the next one? I don't know. It depends on how you want to look at it. And so I call her. She's frantic. She's holding it together pretty good, but pretty well. She's holding it together pretty well. But I'm distraught, and I'm trying to navigate the New York subway system from LaGuardia to Brooklyn. And I had to get on a bus. I had to go on the subway. All the while I'm worried about my best friend. Where is she? What is going on? She boards a plane. She gets on the plane. She's in Nashville now, touchdown. Lost her bag again. And now she has been waiting for a flight out of Nashville to New York City. And it's been delayed like 3 times. So she's just sitting there, and I have nothing. I can't do anything. I didn't put this on the itinerary. This was not in the plan, okay? I would honestly have rather this happen to me than her, because she deserves a break. She deserves a break and a fun little time, and I'm trying to, So she is, as of right now, it's 6 p.m. She was supposed to be here at 10 a.m., which was when I got here, almost 11 a.m.
that's when she was supposed to be here. We were flying into LaGuardia at the same time we were going to meet. It was going to be great. And then we were going to figure out transit together so that we didn't have to do it alone. And now we both have to do it alone. And she's not getting here until 9 p.m. So I got my bearings. I walked to a coffee shop. I got a coffee. It was okay. I wasn't thinking, so I didn't put anything in it, which is not how I take my coffee, thanks. And then I was like, you know what? I've been wanting to get my nails done. Let me go find a place. I wander. I find a place. I got my beautiful nails done. And, you know, that killed an hour or so. And I figured that there would be a better update when I got done. And there's not. And she's still stuck and she's crying and I want to fight everybody. And we were supposed to meet everybody for drinks at a place here to kind of pre-game for the event tomorrow. Can't do that. I mean, I could have, but I was already running late because I was trying to kill time because I thought she would have been here already and she's not. And I kind of don't want to do it without her because I'm worried because she's not here. And I don't want to, I've had enough Subway today. Like, I'm going to wake up tomorrow raring to go. And, you know, we'll be together in theory. And so it'll be a little bit better. But I just don't feel like doing anything tonight because I'm worried about my best friend. Love of my life. Light of my life. So I'm going to sit here and I'm going to take some pictures with my nails. I don't know if you can tell I like them. I'm going to get my stuff unpacked. I'm going to what the hell is that? Dirt or something? God. I'm going to update all of my other friends. I might check in to see about this event that's happening at a brewery. I hate that word. Brewery with the Twisted Spine and a bunch of horror novelists that I adore. But again, I just don't know if I have it in me to do it again. Not right now. Not until I know my baby angel is safe. It's just kind of difficult, you know? And if I do end up going, well then fuck me. I guess I don't mean anything that I say. Or I just need to take my mind off of something. Either way, everything is nuanced and we know that. That's why you're here. So yeah, that's why there's no Rachel. Although our Airbnb is gorgeous. It's so cute. There's this little breakfast table that I'm sitting at here. Little couch. There's a beautiful fireplace. Not sure if it's functional, but it's gorgeous. This is like such a cool building anyway. And so there's so much going on. There's like kind of moldings up here. I don't know if you can see. And a really fun little fan. I'm gonna go, I will do one thing and that, two things. One, I'm going to secure dinner so that when she gets here, she doesn't have to think. She can just come in and eat. And what do you need when you eat things? A beverage. I'm going to go see if there are any monsters in the near area where I can walk to, grab a case, come back. And keep tabs on her to make sure she arrives. I wouldn't wish this on anybody, but at least of all her, of course. Okay, so that's an update. I hope this was fun and informative. And I will see you at the next update. Bye. I wanted to show you the Airbnb before Rachel gets here and gets her stuff in here and everywhere. So this is the little sitting area and it's got this beautiful fireplace. Hi. And a stack of books. Some I've read, some I haven't. Some I don't want to, some I might. A little TV over here, a little sitting area, and then this tiny little table back here with these beautiful windows. Look out of the street. It's night, so you can't really see anything. But look how neat this is. Wait, no, not that one. This one. And then it falls out. So freaking cool. And over here, oh my God, only one bed. Ugh. Sorry about that. And then another built-in cool thing. Ugh, I love it here. Hey, little tiny kitchen. And then a tiny bathroom as well. I bet this thing is like $5,000 a month. Which just cements the fact that I'll never be able to live here. Oh, well. No Natalie allowed. All right, I'm gonna go get Rachel. I think she's coming downstairs. I think it's her. Is it her? I don't know. Well, that's not her. I've just been sitting there. Can I help you? Oh, right, I'm in New York. Rachel! Hi. Oh my God.
Yeah, we're off to a real great start, even amidst all the over planning that I did, some would say. Also, I want it to be known that as we move through this, here's a couple of things I want you to keep in mind. One, the itinerary was completely pointless. We ended up scrapping most of it. Two, I told Rachel to pack multiple pairs of shoes, and she did not listen to me. This will be important information for you to have in the not so distant future. So anyway, she finally does get there. You saw that little bit there. And then I carry her luggage up to the room. I had already bought her dinner, and I got her a sandwich, I think, and like 3 Monsters in the fridge, and her little bedtime snack that she always has. I'm not going to tell you what it is because it's her business, not mine, but I had it ready and waiting for her. Okay. So she gets there. Everything is instantly 10 times brighter when she's there, even in dire circumstances. And she, she'd been through so much. And so I got us food, and I ate my dinner alone waiting on her. And there were 2 events that night that I told you about, which was like dinner and drinks, or like drinking and mingling with the bindery people, which would have been nice to go to, but I didn't want to go without her. And then there was this author event, this book event at a brewery, which I hate that word. I hate having to say it. It was like a beer place with Tor, in partnership with Tor, and a bunch of horror authors that I really, really, really love and respect and admire and enjoy their work. And the Twisted Spine, which is a horror bookstore in Brooklyn. I think it's in Brooklyn, that I did not get to go to this trip. But oh no, I guess that means I have to come back. Rats. But again, I didn't have a ticket to the event. It was sold out. And we had like a loose plan to just be at the brewery and kind of see if we could like edge our way in. But I'm not going to do that alone. Then I look like an idiot. So I opted to just kind of get unpacked, get settled, get dinner, and just wait for her. Especially because also she's mad at me because Tor offered to try to get me into the thing at the beer house or whatever you want to call it. And I didn't want to go without her. And she was like, you should have gone, blah, blah, blah. I would have met you there. I don't want to make you do that. After the day you've had, be like, hey buddy, sorry it's loud in here. Just hop on a train and a bus and another train and then get on an Uber and you can meet me at this place and bring all your luggage with you. Why would I do that to someone that I claim to care about? I wouldn't. So I didn't. And also, I had the only key to the Airbnb. So I couldn't even let her go to the Airbnb and like settle in and be by herself while I was at the event waiting for her because I had the key. And so it just wasn't going to work out. Sometimes things don't work out and that's okay. So, it's not a big deal. So if you're watching this, stop yelling at me. It wasn't a big deal. And we have plenty of time to do more fun things before we die. Okay. So anyway, after that tumultuous day 1, travel day, you know how you never know what's going to happen on a travel day. We go to sleep, crash hard. And we wake up the next morning and we go and get crepes at this place that I walked by and saw like the day before when I was waiting for her to get here. I was like, we have to go back to this place because there's crepes. Rachel was almost kidnapped. Story for another time. She wasn't kidnapped because it just wasn't meant to be, I guess. We got crepes. One of us got a savory crepe. One of us got a sweet crepe. I think I got a lemon sugar whatever crepe. And she got like a tomato. I don't know what the hell she got. But we tried each other's crepes. It was really good. And we got chais. And then we went a-wandering. We got on the subway and rode it into the city, into Manhattan, so that we could see Meg, who was doing an author signing with her first publication. It was very cute. I've started reading it, and it's really sweet. And like hearing the author talk at the Bindery Con event was so endearing, and he's so charming and sweet and precious, and his story has so much heart in it. But I'm getting ahead of myself. We go into the city. We pop by the Times Square Barnes & Noble to see Meg. All of our other friends are there. We go in. It's very fun. We all hug. Then we wander and get lunch together. And while we're at lunch, Meg says, we've got 2 extra tickets to this thing that we're doing later. You have to wear black, white, or silver dress code, and it's going to be really fun. Do you guys want to come? And we were like, yeah, hashtag do fun things before we die. So we agreed. And then we were like, well, we'll find something to wear. And immediately upon saying that, I clocked that it would probably be better for Rachel to borrow my clothing that I brought that was black black and white, and me look for an outfit instead of making her do it, which was the right choice. I clocked that pretty early, standing on business at the beach. And the thing that they invited us to is the next night. So, because this is a bindery day. So we went to the author signing, got lunch, got back on the subway, went back to Brooklyn to like get ready and like freshen up and stuff and get ready to go to the bindery con event. Before we did that though, we were running a little bit behind because I think we got lost. This is one of many times that we did that, I'm sure. And then we got on the subway and went to where we were supposed to be, and we met up with our friend Mary. We love Mary. And there were a bunch of other bookish influencers there too that we met up with and got to hang out with and have some time with. So it worked out that we did like a mini book crawl. We went to, they did because we were running late, but they got to go to Liz's book bar, and I think the Ripped Bodice was over there as well. I don't think they went to that night. And then we got to go to Books Are Magic, and we got to take pictures in front of the beautiful little wall, and it was just a really, really, really good time. And then we walked over to the bindery event.
Oh, your hat is.
What? And we mingled with everybody. It was so much fun. The venue was super cool. It was half inside, half outside. They had these little cocktail napkins with quotes from all the books that they were publishing. They had specialty cocktails that went along with each book. And I got a lanyard, and I'll show it to you in a minute. I got a lanyard with a pin back button for each imprint on it, and then like my QR code in case I met somebody that wanted to follow my bindery. You could just do it like that. It was really cool. And the talk that Matt, one of the founders of Bindery, gave before had me like in the back struggling for my life to not cry. It's like, stop it. And then all of the authors got up there and got to talk and tell the story of how their story came to be and how they found each other and what connected them to the story, and, you know, all this other stuff. It was really good. Natalia Hernandez was the moderator, and she freaking crushed it. She did so good. I also had the distinct privilege of meeting one of my book club members because I gave away a ticket to Bindery Con on my bindery, and my friend Brittany won. And so I got to meet her, and that was very special because we've been in a book club together for about 2 years now, and she usually shows up for almost every single book club. If she can make it, she's going to be there. When she reviews the books and stuff, she always tags me so I can see what she thought, just in case she doesn't make the meeting. And she's just a delight. We were supposed to try to get lunch the next day, but it just didn't end up working out. But she was really fun to talk to in real life, just as much as online. Isn't that something? Thank you, Brittany. Shout out, Brittany. Mwah. After that, me, Rachel, and a few of our other friends went to get tacos at this place. It was really, really fun. I don't think I ate anything because I was like still getting my bearings. It takes me a little while to warm up when I'm around more than 3 people, you know? So I was still kind of settling in. And then as soon as I got back to the Airbnb with Rachel, I was like, I think everybody in that group hates me. You know, just casual anxiety things. She ordered some 7-Eleven groceries. And by groceries, I mean like snacks and monsters and stuff, and fell asleep before the delivery got there. So I had to go down and bring up all the stuff by myself. I wanted to walk to the bodega and get stuff, but she didn't want me to go alone, and I didn't want to make her go. So we opted for the delivery, and then she fell asleep on me anyway. Can you imagine if we did walk to the bodega and she just falls asleep in the middle of the street? I can see that happening for sure. But anyway, we got our stuff, we went to bed, and the next morning we went somewhere. We were going to Dumbo to meet Mary so that we could just meander around and stuff. And before Mary got there, she was like, "Man, last night was rough, huh?" I was like, What are you talking about? And she's like, "Well, I kept getting woken up, all that noise." And I was like, "What noise?" I don't hear things when I sleep. I just sleep. Like, I've slept through a tornado before. Like, my boyfriend at the time, husband now, woke me up and he was like, "We need to go downstairs because the tornado sirens are on." I was like, "I'll just meet you down there." Literally leave me alone. I'd rather sleep over everything. Like, do not wake me up. Even, like, you know, the concept of breakfast in bed is always a really intriguing one for me. It's just a confuzzling one because what do you mean you woke me up? What do you mean you woke me up? No. But anyway, I'm like, what noise? Apparently there was like a fight between people down right underneath our window. There were police sirens all over the place. And I was like, I'm sleeping away. And then I do remember the last thing that she mentioned. She said that there was a car alarm that started going off in the middle of the night. I didn't wake up at the car alarm. I woke up to her like 6 inches away from my face going, "You've got to be kidding me." So that I heard that, and then I just went back to sleep. And I was like, no, I slept fine. I slept fine. So leading up to this story I'm about to tell you, I need you to know that Rachel brought 2 pairs of shoes. And if you recall, I told her to bring multiple. And I guess technically she did listen, but not correctly, you know. So the first pair of shoes that she wore on our first day walking around gave her blisters. And so she had to switch to her other pair of shoes. We looked very cute. And I did opt to let her wear my black and white little slip mid dress. I was like, if it fits you, good. You wear that to the thing that we're going to with Meg and all them tonight, and I will find something along the way because I am much easier to work with, which you wouldn't think. You would think the opposite. Thinking about all the preparations that I did, the itinerary that I made, you would think that I'm the more rigid, difficult one. And I want you to look me in my eyes when I tell you, you would be wrong. But, you know, we all have gaps, right? You know, she's a little angel. Like, you just wear that. You just wear that and I'll figure it out because I don't care. And it's a good thing because I think what I'm about to tell you about this whole excursion would have leveled a weaker man. So anyway, we meet up with Mary. We get the best coffee. I don't remember where we were, but I don't even remember what I got either. It was just delicious. I have had dreams about this coffee ever since. And then we wandered around Dumbo. We got pictures in front of like the bridge, that street. I actually was watching Gossip Girl last night with my kid and I was like, I went there because they were in Dumbo because, you know, Lonely Boy lives out in Brooklyn. After that, we wandered into a few little knickknack stores and then we trekked up the stairs. We're going up the Brooklyn Bridge. And it's going really well. Come on, Rachel.
I'm doing a really good job. Doing amazing, sweetie.
And across the Brooklyn Bridge. And it was really fun. I love a walk. I love a wander. And I love doing it with people that I love also, which we love Rachel and we love Mary. And we love Rachel, but we love Mary. This was my first time meeting Mary and I absolutely adore her. And so we're walking across the bridge and she's kind of local. She knows what she's doing. So it's good. Like, I'll follow you. And at a certain point, I just started holding her hand and letting her lead me through like a child. Every now and then you need that, you know? But we're on the bridge and we're having fun and we're taking pictures and like pose. And then about at the halfway mark, I lost them for like a split second. And I turn around. They have stopped at a fruit cart and gotten fruit. And I don't eat fruit. Fun fact about me. They're like, what do you mean you don't eat fruit? I'm like, I don't eat it. And then we wandered off of the bridge and we were going to like get a hot dog from a cart or a pretzel or a bagel or something like that. And we ended up not being able to do that because as we took one step too far on the sidewalk of New York City in front of the courthouse, Rachel's shoe opened up like a clamshell. It's broken. And so she keeps dragging, like that's how we knew. It's like she kept accidentally like having those like half step stumble kind of things. And so she looks down and her shoe is open when it's not supposed to be. And I'm like, great. And her other pair of shoes, of course, back at the Airbnb, and we can't just go over there. So then she starts to lose steam. It's pretty evident to anyone with eyes to see that she was not handling this little mishap very well. She's a trooper, you know, she stayed with it, but mainly because there was no other option and I wasn't about to let her fall down. You never leave a soldier behind. And so I'm like, hey, we're gonna get food. Mary knows some stuff. We're gonna go get food with Mary. We're gonna sit down. You won't have to walk in your broken shoes. All right, I'm coming for you. Can I eat again? Yes. That's great. And then we're going to prioritize finding me a dress and finding you new shoes. It's not going to be a problem, especially because shoes is shoes, you know, but she had very specific needs of these shoes and I don't want to get into it. And every single store we walked into, she lost a little bit of her light. Like you could just see her like a dimmer switch. You just, and I'm like, here we go. We're gonna find them. We're gonna find the shoes. We're gonna be fine. I find a dress somewhere in the middle of all this. It's like a $15 dress, $13 dress, something like that. They didn't have a changing room in the thing, but it was a size large. So I was like, sure, why not? And it was so cute. It was like a bodycon kind of fitted black off the shoulder thing with just these huge white ruffles. And I was like, this is gonna be incredible for Masquerade doing Phantom of the Opera. That's what we were invited to do. I was like, fine, I'll change at the restaurant. It's not a big deal. And it matched my shoes that I was already wearing. So perfect, right? We still haven't found Rachel any shoes, so we get in a cab and Mary hailed a cab. like a television star, the likes of which I've never seen in real life before. I thought that was like a gimmick that they do on TV. I didn't know you raise your hand and a car stops. Magical. Mary is magical. We love Mary. So we get in the cab and Mary's like, well, I have to go to this thing, but I'll drop you off at this place and you can go look for shoes. And we found a Target, right? No brainer. Let's swing by the Target. We get into the Target. We're wandering around. Not only do they not have the Monster flavor that she needs, they don't sell shoes. So we're back outside and we have to get an Uber or something. I don't even remember how we did it. We didn't get an Uber. We just walked, which is great. Great for morale for sure. And as I said, she's a little dimmer switch. She keeps the light is fading within her eyes. I can see it leaving as at each step we take. And then we get to Macy's, and it's the biggest Macy's I've ever fucking seen. It's like a 7-floor Macy's, and the floors are not like little bitty wall to wall. They are that huge levels to this thing. We get on the elevator, we get to the shoes. She is still being a little trooper about it. She finds a shoe that fits and it checks all the little boxes that she's made up for this pair of shoes that she needs. And then as she's on the brink of tears, she sits down, smashes her elbow into a table, and starts doing that laugh, cry, hysteric thing that you do when you're at the fucking end of your rope. And I'm like, I'm like, okay, we're laughing about it. That means we've turned a leaf. We are turning a corner. We are doing this. We are not giving up. No. And, oh, by the way, the lunch that we had with Mary, I need to throw this in here. Delicious. Oh my God. I had like broccolini and this bread with whipped something. I don't know. Honey was on it. I don't know. It was so good. And during lunch, I look at Rachel visibly dying, and I'm like, hey, so the next thing we're supposed to do is go to the sex museum. Are we bailing on that? She's like, we're bailing on that. I'm like, cool. We just don't go. That's fine. So anyway, we're at Macy's. Her elbow is smashed. She's laughing and crying. I'm giggling because what else can you do? Then she lifts her elbow up. She's actively bleeding. I'm like, of course you are. She starts laughing harder. She tries the shoes on. They fit. She's like, where are the socks? She's like 3 floors up. Why would you sell socks 3 floors away from the shoes? Why would you do that? What the fuck? So anyway, we have to go 3 floors up. We find some socks all the way in the back corner of the intimate section. Of course, it's not like right there when you get off the elevator. Why would it be? That seems too simple, doesn't it? So anyway, I have my dress. She has her new shoes. She has switched over. She has thrown the other pair away. And now we have to get to the place that we're having dinner before the masquerade with all of our friends. So we do, and it's quite a trek. But thankfully, right before we got there, we had some time to kill. And there was this bookstore that we got to go into. Rachel talked a little bit about it in her video, so I'm going to let her tell you about it here.
We still need to get down to the restaurant to meet everybody before we go to masquerade. By everybody, I mean we're meeting Meg, Natalia, Mari, Nicole, Meg's husband, Brian. We're going to meet for Thai food. But first, I was like, wait, I think I know where we are in New York. And I knew that we were near 1804 Books, which is owned by the People's Forum. It's inside of the People's Forum, the building, which is a organization that I took a class on Marxism online from. And while we were there, I really wanted to go there and see it. They have like a little corner of the People's Forum is the bookstore. And so I got to go, and I was like, Natalie, wait, do you want to go to a bookstore that isn't technically like a real like whole ass bookstore, but they sell books. They do a lot of educating on like Marxism and socialism and stuff.
Bless the baby girl, call of dissatisfaction, patron saint of not good enough.
Obviously, the poems of Warson Shire threatened to have fucked up my entire night. So I had to close that book, put it away. And then we walked to the Thai restaurant. Rachel said this was the first time I had pad Thai. That's not true. I have had pad Thai before. It wasn't this kind of pad Thai, and it wasn't as delicious because I think it was like the equivalent of like Panda Express pad Thai. I don't remember where I was, but it was like a fast food kind of thing. This pad Thai was delicious. And honestly, it's probably the reason that what's about to happen to me happened to me, because I ate a lot of pad Thai. So towards the end of the dinner, the clock is ticking. It's about time for the show, and everybody else is in their dress, and they're like, where's your dress? I'm like, oh, it's in the back. I'm going to go change. So I go in the bathroom, and Rachel told this story, but I'm going to tell it too. Okay. So I go into the bathroom, and it's a very small, like single bathroom, and so I'm trying to take off the clothing that I'm wearing without letting it touch the ground, and also retrieve the new dress and put it on. And I cannot get it zipped. Like I said, it's bodycon, and your girl is not built for a bodycon anymore, it seems, especially one that's not appropriately sized. Now, of course, I also think that sizing is subjective, and depending on what store you walk into, some stores I'm a small small. Some stores I'm a double extra large. It doesn't make any sense. And it's designed to upset us. So I'm not about to let them win. No, there's never anything wrong with me. So anyway, I emerged from the bathroom in the same outfit and everybody's like, what's going on? I'm like, I can't get it zipped and I might need to think of something else to do. And Rachel's like, no, I'll just come in and help you. And I'm like, okay. But I was already in the bathroom, so I know that it's not going to work, but we're going to try anyway. So we get in and she's behind me and she's like trying to zip it, but she can't. And she's like, you know what? I just need somebody to hold the fabric together so I can zip it. And I'm like, cool. So in comes Mari. We tag Mari in from My Name is Martinez, one of the imprints that was publishing. Congratulations. So she comes in and she's holding the fabric together and Rachel's trying to zip. And she's like, you know, I just need one more person to hold the dress down and squeeze it in while I zip. And so then Natalia Hernandez is also tagged in. So it's quite crowded in there. So they're all hands on decking this dress that is on my body. And honestly, if I were a lesser person, if I were in a weaker state of mind, if I was having a rougher time, if I wasn't mentally stable as I am now, I would have let this ruin weeks of my life, but whatever, we're just rolling with it. It's going to be a funny story later. That's what I keep telling myself. And obviously it's true. Here we are. So 4 people, one of them me, are trying to get this dress zipped and they finally do. Huzzah. We have worked and teamwork actually does make the dream work. So we emerge triumphant from the bathroom. We're feeling great. And the show starts at 6:30. Okay. 6:30, I think 6:30 or 7:30. We'll go with 7:30. Show starts at 7:30. And you are not allowed to be late because if you are, you will lose your place and you don't get to go. So, whatever. But just in the nick of time, we're done. The dress is zipped. We have paid. Everything is done and it's ready to go. And then right when I reach for my bag, the dress rips up the back and the zipper just completely tears apart. And the eyelet little closure at the top, holding on for dear life. A trooper if I ever saw one. And I'm like, hey, the dress broke. And everybody's really supportive and kind about it. And they're like, oh my God, what? And I'm like, you know what? I just don't have to go. And I know that Rachel's already, she's exhausted too. She's had a really rough day shoe-wise and everything. And so I was like, you know what? Maybe it's just not meant to be. It's okay if we don't go. This was a nice thing for you to invite us to and we were really excited about it, but it's okay if we can't go. And everybody collectively sings no at the same time. And then people come up with a plan. I've never seen girlhood in action quite like this before. So Nicole gets an Uber and Madi gives me her coat. Rachel is holding everything because that's what she's best at. She holds it, she'll hold it. And she's filming stuff, which is where all of the footage you're about to see is going to come from. Everybody has a role to play. Okay. I'm just along for the ride, which is very rare for me, but I'm enjoying it. So Nicole gets us into an Uber. Somebody is looking on the map. I'm pretty sure it was Nicole. She was like, there's actually a Nordstrom right across the street from where the venue is. So we just need to get there. We'll go in. You go to the dressing room. I'm like, all right, break. We have a plan. We pull up to the Nordstrom. They drop us off at the event venue. So we have to jaywalk across the street. Now, did we have to? No. But did we? Yes. So we jaywalk across the street. We run in. Okay. It's 7:07 and we get in there. We go up to the 3rd floor where women's clothing is. They shove me into a dressing room. Rachel's, again, still holding all of my stuff. Nicole and Madi just hit the racks. They just start grabbing stuff. I'm like, I wear a size large, or so they tell me. Large and up. Just grab stuff. So they're grabbing stuff. Rachel's holding stuff. I'm in the dressing room by myself trying to get naked so I can start trying these things on. And the eyelet closure, like I said, is holding on for dear life. And I mean it. Whoever invested in the eyelet closure quality needed to run their eyes over the zipper. Okay. Because that eyelet thing was not giving. And instead of asking somebody to come into the dressing room and unhook it for me, I just hulk out of this dress. I rip out of this dress. Bruce Banner would be proud. And I didn't even need any radiation poisoning. So the dress is shredded. It's on the ground at my feet. And I just start trying things on. There were a couple pieces that would have worked and that they would, they were fine. But there was this one that I ended up getting. It is just a black kind of silky blouse looking thing, but it's a dress. And it was 2 sizes bigger than it was supposed to be. So no pressure here. And I just slipped it on. I was like, this is it. We got to get out of here. So we run back down the stairs. I leave the shredded dress and it has now become a joke with all of us that Mr. Nordstrom called an emergency meeting the next day. He's like, I need to know where this dress came from and who did this. But I left that dress. Yeet that dress. Fuck that dress. And then we go down to the desk. What?
Leave me alone.
And I'm like, hey, I need you to ring this up on my body, on my person. I'm going to pay for it. It's not a big deal. If there's a sensor, take it off. And so the lady was mortified, as I am sure anybody would be, because I'm just like rushing the counter, frantic, and all my friends are either filming or laughing or helping me cut the tag off. And then we leave the store at 7:14. 7 minutes. Never shopped that fast in my freaking life.
I can do it. It's John Cena.
So anyway, we cross the street again. We jaywalk again. They give us our masks. They take our phones and our purses. We check them in because you're not allowed to have them. And then we have the most singular, beautiful experience that I've ever experienced when it comes to theater in my life. Now, of course, I didn't grow up going to the theater. That wasn't a thing that we did. I wasn't a theater kid. As much as y'all ask me if I am, I wasn't. I think I've seen 10 plays or less in my lifetime. And this one was like an interactive play that was happening around you. Like the stage was the rooms we were in and they were acting out the scenes around us, pulling you into dance with them, handing you props, leading you from room to room as the scenes changed. It was incredible. It was so much fun. And it was a musical. And I have that thing where anytime a group of people is singing all at once, I cry. So that was a struggle for me for sure. And as I said, I've never seen Phantom of the Opera before. So this was like a whole new experience for me that I had no basis for this. I didn't know what the story was, how it ended, none of that. And what a way to see it for the first time. The one moment that sticks out to me that I think about every single night before I close my eyes is one of the scenes stopped and we go up a flight of stairs and all of a sudden we are just on a rooftop in downtown Manhattan at night with the lights and the buildings and the sky and everything and the singing and the oh God, it was so magical. And it's just one of those moments where you look around and you realize that it's happening to you and that this is your life and you just don't know what to do with all of those feelings. And so I cried, of course, and the play was incredible. And after we were done, we all walked to Junior's in Times Square for dessert and french fries and drinks and stuff. On the way, because you remember Mary split off from us earlier because she had a thing to do, I noticed that we walked by the theater that I knew Mary was going to. She saw Gatsby and I texted her because it looked like Gatsby was also letting out. So I texted her and I was like, hey, we're all walking to Junior's if you want to come. I saw Gatsby and it seems like you're over here in this area. So she gets directions. And then she texts me that she can see my socks. So I turn around and look for her and she's there and we're here and we all run. It was like a moment on the beach. You know what I'm talking about. All the gang is back together and we go to Junior's. We have dessert. We have conversation. It's such a lovely night. And then we all get on the subway and everybody gets off at their respective stops and we have to say goodbye and it's all very sad. But beautiful. It's like a beautiful kind of sadness. My favorite kind. So we had one more day with like some time to kind of wander the city a little bit more. So we hung out with Mary and walked through some places. We went to the Ripped Bodice on that day.
Not Hosier. Not Hosier in the Ripped Bodice.
How did they know to stalk my memo?
How did they get that?
And some cookies from a bakery that she loves. We also had to stop by the post office, I think once or twice, to mail packages back to ourselves because we just kept accumulating stuff and I'm not trying to check all these bags. They already lost Rachel's bag once. Twice. They lost her bag twice. I'm not trying to do all that. So we're just mailing stuff back to ourselves and we're having just the nicest little slow day where we just kind of meander and we eat lunch and we're just having this beautiful little day, our last day together. And Mary drove to New York City and so she offered to take us to the airport, but then she realized that like there was like a time problem and so she could only drive us so far and then we would have to Uber. And honestly, that saved us like a lot of money. So thank you for that. I'm kind of more sad though that we didn't get more time with Mary because whatever, I can make more money. I can't make more time with Mary. About halfway through the planning process, Rachel decided that she wasn't going to fly back home exactly right after the event was over. She was going to come home with me to Tennessee because the Southern Festival of Books was happening that weekend, wherein which Alex E. Harrow would be not only giving a talk, not only signing things, but also selling copies of The Everlasting before it published. So we had to go. So that final day, we Ubered to the airport. We're acting obnoxious in the airport as one does.
So I gotta be real with you guys. You look like f***ing clowns. Oh, I'm not kidding.
We get some food. We have a smoothie. We board. Very minimal issues this time around, thank God. Even though, if there were going to be issues, I would have rather it happened to us when we were together. But, beggars can't be choosers. I'm just glad we got home. We landed at around, I don't even know. It was really late, like midnight. We get there and I can't find the car. So I leave Rachel sitting on her suitcase looking so sad and exhausted and to go find the car. And then I find her and I pick her up and then we head back to my house. And the next day is a Friday. So my kids and my husband go to work and school and we just chill at the house. We rest. We order breakfast to my porch. We sit. I have my lizard time, which is really all that ever really matters as far as how good of a day I'm going to have. She touched on lizard time. She mentioned it in her videos, but I'm going to tell you what it is. You can probably draw this conclusion on your own. I'm anemic. I don't have enough blood, right? And as a result, I'm cold all the time. So it's harder for me to regulate my body temperature. And my house stays cold, but it was warm in the sunshine. So sometimes when I'm inside and I'm too cold, I will go outside, sit in the sun like a lizard in a terrarium under a sun lamp. You know what I mean? Lizard time. So I had my lizard time. I had my orange juice, my tea, my coffee, my breakfast, my best friend. What else do you need, really? And then, we just kind of recuperated. We reconsolidated like all of our luggage and stuff and like packed for the weekend because as soon as my husband and kids got back home, we were going to go to Nashville. We stayed in an Airbnb kind of outside of Nashville, like 20 minutes outside. And so, we had to drive into the city for that. But you know what? After navigating the subway system, give me the keys and I'll get us there. It's not a problem if there's a vehicle that I can drive. We realized when we got there, obviously we got there Friday, so there wasn't much to do on Friday. And then we thought we were going to go to the festival on Saturday, but we realized once we got there that Alex wasn't giving her talk until Sunday. So we opted to go around town and just do book stuff all day Saturday. We went to a couple of bookstores. We went to the bookshop in Nashville. We went to Novelette, and then we went to Parnassus, all of which highly recommend. They're fun and unique and have so much character in their own way. Parnassus is like really big and it has like a really good banned book section. It also has little bookshop dogs that come around and hang out with you. So that's fun. Novelette was like very brightly colored and it's queer owned and it had a physical copy too, actually, of Pounded by Produce by GM Ferry in stock. So I had to get that. And Bookshop was really fun too. It was, Rachel said small but mighty. And it really was. It had a really wide selection and it was really, the person that was working that day was really kind. And it was a lot of fun. We go by Meg from Meg's Tea Room's house and hang out with her and eat pasta. We met one of her friends too. And she was a doll. I loved hanging out with them. It was just a really cozy little fun night together. All of us just talking about how hard life can be and how easier it is when we're all together. I even got to stop by the tea room, picked up a shift. I'm not very good. I'm not as good as Meg is, but I think it was fine.
No, I'm happy to see you. I am. It's just, I don't know what I'm doing. I've never been here. I shouldn't be in charge.
Okay, we're doing recording.
Yeah, she's doing a bit.
Hold on, we're doing a bit.
Hi. Oh, yeah, no, I know. What am I don't know. But fun fact, my second name is Megan. So it's technically not a lie. Can I get you something to drink? Yeah, no, I know how to make that. Hold me right. Don't go anywhere. I certainly know how to make it.
I'm so sorry. You wanted some tea? Absolutely. Be with you right one moment. I don't want to ever do that to me again.
The next day was the festival day and it did rain a little bit, but thankfully Meg told us about like a place to park near the venue so that we wouldn't have to pay and it was kind of close within walking distance. So love that. Thanks, Meg. We saw Meg. We stopped by the Cliche Teas booth because they had that whole thing set up and Meg has a line of teas that she worked on with them and that was really cool to see and to try the new teas. The new flavor was called Hearth and it was really, really good. Rachel got a bag of that, I think. And then we walked around the festival a little bit and got food from the food trucks. I found this little duck. I think it was a duck. Actually, my youngest kid found it and showed it to me and I turned it upside down and it had a little QR code on the bottom and that led me to this author's tent where I bought a copy of her book. It was all very fun. And then we went to Alex E. Harrow's talk and Rachel got to see the whole talk and I left halfway through to go get our place in line for the signing that she was doing directly after it. Also grabbed us a bubble tea. Also had a couple of people recognize us while we were there, which is always just such an out of body experience. It always catches me off guard that people know me. And so I'm not used to that yet. They're like, do you do Weirdo Book Club? I'm like, I freak out, but it's not because of you. It's a me thing. And please continue to say hi to me. Please continue to do that. I want you to. I want to get better at it. Plus, I like meeting you. It won't read on my face. It will seem like I think I'm being hunted for sport, but I'm happy to be there. I just want you to know. I'm telling you right now. Anyway, I got us some bubble teas in a little bear cup. Take that, Starbucks. And then I went and got in line. And wouldn't you know it, my family was already in line because they were trying to do me a solid. And they're so sweet. So we stood in line. We got to meet Alexi Harrow. And then we came home and we're really sad because the next day I had to take Rachel to the airport. We stopped by Novel in Memphis before I did. And we had lunch and we were very sad. And it just doesn't make any sense that she doesn't live like next door or like right over there across the street where I can like throw something at her if I need to. And you'd be surprised how often I need to throw things at her to get her attention or to show her something. We're all different in how we show our love. But yeah, she left and went back home and it's been a month since I've seen her and we're already like, enough of this. So we have another trip planned for the end of the year for all of our families to go and be in the mountains together and do a gift swap and stuff because I just can't do this. And I don't have to. That's the beauty of being an adult. And just to be honest, like all of my friends are so special to me. I have such great connections because of this community and because of being a part of this community. And I can't ever say thank you enough for all of that. But like my best friend, I have a best friend now who is a sister that I always wanted. Like even just the little trip that we're taking with our families to go into the mountains, like that's kind of what I thought my life was going to be like. Like we were going to grow up and we were all going to like reconvene with our families and do things together. And I don't have that. I just don't have it. And so having it with Rachel, because we talk about books on the internet, is a wild timeline, but one that I'm so grateful for. Never would have thought, honestly. And you know what? That's what I get for not thinking. A best friend. So I'm planning on vlogging that as well. I'm sure it will be an adventure. I'll have to maneuver around getting none of the children's faces in the videos and stuff, but I do plan on us having a really good time, and I will tell you all about that when the time comes. For now, I'm just excited that I got this vlog out about New York City and going to Nashville and just spending time with my best friend doing book stuff. She also has a vlog out, so you can go and look at that if you want to. She does a little bit better of documenting like what books she got from what bookstores. All of mine are downstairs, and I'm just not going down there. Thank you for taking this journey with me, for listening to me yap about my trip, and hopefully maybe you can live vicariously through the fun that I had. I wish that I could take you all along with me, but I don't have, my bank account's not set up to do all of that. But just know I felt you with me in spirit. Thank you for watching. I hope this was fun. I love you. You don't have to say it back. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.